My name is Anita. I'll never forget that fateful day when my world was turned upside down during my mother's 60th birthday celebration. The room was filled with an awkward silence as my sister-in-law, Isabella, burst out laughing at the pasta salad I had painstakingly prepared for my mom. Haha, pasta salad? Are you seriously that broke? She sneered, her eyes filled with contempt. I felt my face flush with embarrassment, and tears welled up in my eyes. I had put my heart and soul into this meal, knowing it was my mom's favorite. I tried to explain, no, actually, pasta salad is mom's favorite. But Isabella cut me off with a dismissive wave of her hand. Pasta salad is just pathetic. At the very least, you could have gotten sushi. Just as I was about to lose my temper, my mother spoke up. Her voice was calm, but her words were firm. Well then, today will be the last time I see you. Everyone froze, shocked by her words. Isabella's smirk faded into confusion. Huh? What are you saying? My mother repeated herself. I said I never want to see you again. Please leave this house immediately. Isabella's face paled, and she scoffed. I was just looking out for my mother-in-law. My mom tilted her head. Looking out for me? Then why were you so desperate to insult my daughter's cooking? Isabella crossed her arms. I wouldn't serve my own mother-in-law pasta salad. That's why I brought a cake and a turkey. My mom let out a short laugh. With my son's money, I assume. What have you ever given me, Isabella? Isabella faltered, but then her expression twisted with anger. So what? I did you all a favor by joining this miserable outdated family. Honestly, Leo should be grateful I even married him. You all should be grateful. My mother sighed. So this is how you really feel. Fine. Isabella snapped. I don't need any of you anyway. Leo listens to everything I say. He'll choose me over you any day. For the first time since the conversation started, my mother turned to my brother, Leo. Is that true, Leo? All eyes were on him, and the expression on his face was not the uncertain, helpless look he wore before. This time, he looked resolute. No, he said firmly. Isabella's eyes widened in shock. Wait. What? I've had enough, my brother said, his voice filled with anger. I tolerated your selfishness for so long, but if you're going to insult my mother and my sister, I won't let it slide. I'm done. Isabella gasped. No way. She desperately tried to backtrack, putting on a fake smile, but my brother didn't even look at her. Instead, he turned to me and lowered his head. I'm sorry, Anita. You tried to warn me. I sighed. It's okay, big brother. You're a kind person, that's all. He shook his head. Maybe too kind. I reassured him. You just gave your kindness to the wrong person, but kindness is still one of your best qualities. He smiled sadly. Thanks, Anita. As I reflect on that day, I can't help but think about how it all started. My family has always been close-knit. My parents, John and Mary, are hardworking and down-to-earth people. My dad is a retired mechanic, and my mom is a former schoolteacher. They have always instilled in us the values of kindness, respect, and family. I'm a 28-year-old graphic designer. I love my job, and I'm proud of the work I do. I have a great group of friends, and I'm content with my life. Although many of my friends are married with kids, I'm in no rush to settle down. My brother, Leo, is 34 years old. He's a successful investment banker. He's always been ambitious and hardworking, but he can also be a bit scatterbrained at times. 6 months ago, he invited me to our parents' house, saying he had something important to discuss. When I arrived, he was already there with a woman I had never met. This is Isabella, my girlfriend. Isn't she stunning? He introduced her with pride. Isabella was indeed beautiful. She was tall, with long, flowing hair and a perfect figure. She was dressed in a designer dress and expensive jewelry. But there was something about her that made me feel uneasy. Out of curiosity, I asked, "Isabella, you're so beautiful. What made you fall for my brother?" Leo immediately objected. "Hey, that's rude." But Isabella just smiled warmly. Leo is truly a kind and wonderful person. I tilted my head. I mean, yeah, he's kind, but aren't there plenty of great guys around you? She shook her head. Not like him. I chose Leo because I know he will love me more than anyone else. I nodded. I see. Well, it's nice of you to pick my brother despite all that. Isabella chuckled. You're funny. Honestly, as long as I'm with Leo, that's all that matters. Her words made my parents laugh. And though my brother hesitated for a moment, he soon grinned, reassured by the moment. 2 months later, they got married. The newlyweds moved into a luxurious high-rise apartment. It was an unusual choice for my brother. He had always been practical, and his previous place was more than enough for two. So, I couldn't help but wonder why the sudden upgrade to such an expensive home. One day, I called him to discuss plans for our mother's upcoming birthday. Hey, do you remember Mom's birthday is next month? I asked. Of course, she's turning 60. It's a big deal, he replied. I made sure to mark it in my planner. Wow, impressive, I teased. So, what should we do? A trip, maybe? A trip sounds great, but work is keeping me swamped, he admitted. Yeah, you're always busy, I sighed. Leo has always been ambitious. After graduating from a prestigious university, he climbed the ranks at a financial firm. By 34, he was in a high-paying position, but his demanding job left him with little free time. Wanting to make Mom's birthday special, I was brainstorming ideas when he suddenly said, Hey Anita, think about what would make Mom happiest. I chuckled. What do you mean? Mom loves having the family together at home. We've taken her on trips before, but when was she happiest? I thought for a moment, when you and I came home and had dinner with her. Exactly. If she wants a trip, we can plan that later, but on her actual birthday, let's go back home and have a nice dinner together, he suggested. That's a great idea, I agreed. I had been thinking about what I would want, but Mom's happiness came from the simplest things. Just having her family together. For such a milestone birthday, the best gift was something she truly cherished. As we excitedly planned, a voice suddenly cut in from Leo's side. Wait, hold on. A dinner? That's it? For her 60th birthday, shouldn't we be going on a trip? It was Isabella, but her voice carried a tone I hadn't heard before. Leo calmly explained, Isabella, we're talking about my mom. She's happiest when we all have dinner together. Well, that sounds awful. I'd hate that, she shot back. But this is about Mom, he said, keeping his patience. I can't believe this. I was looking forward to a trip, and now we're just sitting at home. You're so useless, she snapped. Leo sighed. Sorry, don't be upset. I could hear the exhaustion in his voice. Lowering mine so she wouldn't hear, I asked, Hey Leo, was that Isabella just now? Yeah, I guess I made her mad again, he admitted. Again? What do you mean? She's been getting upset a lot lately. I don't even know what I'm doing wrong, but she always seems frustrated with me. I frowned. That argument just now, it felt like she was being unreasonable. And then something I had been wondering about for a while finally slipped out. Hey Leo, why did you move to that expensive high-rise condo? He hesitated. Actually, Isabella insisted. She said she'd divorce me if we didn't. What? Anger boiled inside me. Something about my sister-in-law didn't sit right, and that feeling was only growing stronger. At that moment, I wanted to lash out in anger, but I knew that if I did, my brother would only feel worse. So, I held back, choosing my words carefully as I continued the conversation with caution. Listen, bro, I admire your kindness, but don't you think it's being taken advantage of? I asked, keeping my tone gentle yet firm. I get what you're saying, but everyone in the family was happy about my marriage to Isabella, so He trailed off, sounding conflicted. I was happy too, because I thought she was a good person, but after hearing all this, my perspective has changed. Honestly, if you were to divorce her, I wouldn't be the least bit bothered, I said bluntly. But what about Mom and Dad? He hesitated. In the end, it's your choice. Do whatever you feel is right. Just know that once you've made your decision, there's no turning back. Make sure you won't regret it later, I advised. Thanks, Anita, he murmured, sounding defeated. As the call ended, I could sense his mood had dropped. Maybe I had been too harsh, but it was necessary. I wanted to be honest for his own good. No matter how much he tried to make things work, a life with someone as selfish as Isabella would never bring him happiness. If he ever wanted to remarry, the sooner he ended things, the better, especially at his age. Still, it's his life, I reminded myself. Even if he was being mistreated, if he truly found happiness in being with Isabella, then that was his decision to make. I had no right to interfere. Realizing this, I felt a little more at ease. From then on, I stayed in touch with my brother. After some discussion, we decided to celebrate our mother's 60th birthday at our parents' house. My brother would bring a cake and a turkey, while I planned to cook Mom's favorite dishes ahead of time. I arrived at our parents' house 2 hours early, carrying a bouquet of flowers and a thoughtful gift. I took charge of the kitchen, preparing a meal that meant a lot to my mom, her favorite pasta salad. To some, it might seem like a simple dish, but for my mother, it was special. And since it was my first time cooking for her, I wanted it to be perfect. I had already informed my dad of the plan, and he took my brother out for the afternoon to keep things a surprise. That left me alone in the kitchen, carefully preparing each ingredient. A few hours later, my brother and his wife returned home just before our parents arrived. They carried the cake and turkey, setting them on the table. As they finished arranging the plates, our parents walked in. The moment my mom saw the spread, her face lit up with joy. "Oh my, look at all this food!" She gasped in delight. "Mom, it's your 60th birthday. We wanted to celebrate together," my brother said, smiling. "Oh, really? I'm so happy." "Thank you, everyone," she beamed, clearly touched. "Of course. Now, Mom, since it's your special day, please sit here," I said, guiding her to her chair. My brother gave me a small nod, signaling that it was time. Carefully, I plated the pasta salad and set it in front of her. She looked at it in surprise. "Oh, Anita, this is..." "Yes, it's your favorite dish. I made it just for you," I said proudly. Tears welled up in my mother's eyes, but before she could say anything, a loud laugh interrupted the moment. "Wait, pasta salad? You're kidding, right?" Isabella burst out laughing. And that's how the events unfolded, leading to the explosive confrontation that changed our family forever. A year has passed since that day. My brother found someone new, a kind and cheerful woman named Lily. She has a warm smile and a kind heart, and I can see that she makes my brother truly happy. This time, my parents and I can genuinely wish for his happiness. Looking back, I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned. Sometimes, it takes a crisis to see the truth, and I'm glad that my brother was able to find the strength to stand up for himself and his family.